Gossiping is toxic. If you do it, stop doing it right now. Have you ever noticed that the most likable people that you just couldn't say a bad thing about because they're just so great? Well, those people also have probably never spoken negatively about another person around you. Studies show that if you say something negative about someone else, the person you're saying it to subconsciously places you with that same negative trait. If you never say anything negative about another person, people are less likely to have anything bad to say about you. Gossiping is much easier to do than to not do. It's a quick way to join a conversation, to feel like you're relating to someone who is also a part of the gossiping. Using someone else's story and talking about them behind their backs is an easy topic of conversation to default to. It's an easy way to make yourself feel better than that person, but gossiping is a very ugly, unfair thing to do and is not something likable people take part in. Gossiping is poisonous. The intent behind gossip is usually to make someone who isn't present look bad and to make yourself look good through sharing this information. If you gossip about someone else, the person listening to you will assume you also gossip about them, which means they ain't gonna trust you. They'll wonder what you say about them when they're not around. Gossiping is negative, so although in the moment it may be an easy thing to do, it will leave you and the people you speak with in a more negative state. Likeable people have integrity. They're fair and honest, and in fairness, they would never speak negatively or about someone who wasn't there to defend themselves. Think about how you would feel if you found out someone was speaking behind your back. Now, the only way this would feel good is if they were speaking positively about how great you were, right? Making the choice to not gossip is like making the choice to not eat sugar. It takes practice, discipline, and strength to commit to, but in doing so, it will have a massive positive impact on your life. By not participating in gossiping, you will shine. People will take notice and admire you for not doing it. Gossiping doesn't do anyone any good, so even if in the moment someone is looking for you to join in on the gossiping, which they will be, by not joining in, you will foster trust. You will be seen as non-judgmental and will overall be much more likable. So I have a challenge for you this week. If gossiping starts to occur around you, try one of these statements to change the topic or let the gossiper know you are not having any of that. Here the statements are to get out and away from gossiping. I don't know enough about the situation to comment on it. Or, I don't know the other person's perspective, so I prefer to not discuss what I think they were thinking or feeling in their absence. You could also point out a quality you like about the person who's being gossiped about. For example, I've always found Emily easy to talk to, and stick up for that person in their absence. Or, simply change the subject to a more positive topic. By choosing not to gossip, you're making a decision to have good character and to be a more likable human being. So, if you're not going to be participating in the gossiping that's going on, what can you talk to others about? Whether you're visiting family at a social gathering or out to a work holiday party, after you catch up about the kids, the family, or the work that's currently going on, what do you talk about? Number 1, do new things. Try out a trendy product, go curling, take a cooking class, read a book, check out a tourist attraction near where you live. Doing something you've never done before and having a newbie's perspective on it and an experience or viewpoint on it to share is a very easy thing to create a conversation around. For example, I finally checked out the CN Tower this year. Have you ever been? The other person can say, oh yeah, I used to do the CN Tower walk every year, and the conversation can continue from there. Talk about traveling. Most people love traveling, and if they love traveling, they'll love to let you know all of the cool places that they've been. Traveling and talking about different cities and countries around the world is a topic that's very easy to spend time chatting about. Ask the people you're with where their favorite place to travel is, or where the best food they've ever eaten is, or where in the world they've lived, or where's a reasonably priced place to have a vacation. If you're ever in a jam in any social situation where you need to keep a conversation going, traveling is a very easy go-to. You can talk about health. There are always tons of different health trends going on. Not eating processed sugar, going vegan, doing the paleo diet, taking supplements, juicing, making smoothies, running, Pilates, yoga, bodybuilding, and so on. The direction I like to take in conversations when I'm speaking about health is by asking people, hey, have you heard of this newest health trend? And insert the newest health trend into your conversation. And ask people for their thoughts and opinions on it. Now, if you aren't as into following trends, you could ask the people you're with what they do to stay in shape, or if they've ever tried going vegetarian, or what their favorite activity is to do in the winter to keep active. Talking about health and wellness is another very easy go-to, especially if you notice the person's in relatively decent shape. If they are, it's likely they have an interest in health as well.